And my past life, I was a user. I did drugs. I drank, and I knew God, but not like I know him now. I was in a traditional church. I didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ as I do now. But I was lost. A lot of things happened in my childhood, which I didn't really have a childhood, and which led me into doing drugs. A lot of my family members use. You know, my mom used and my uncle, and so that's kind of like all I knew. And then I started drinking a lot, smoking cigarettes, and hanging out with the wrong crowd. And while I was using, it ruined a lot of my relationships, my relationship with my family, with my husband. You know, we separated. We were together for 10.5 years, and then we separated for 10.5 years. I divorced him. And so after this time, the years have passed by. I always knew Randy was my one true love, and I missed my family because I didn't have my kids. I actually chose drugs. I went my own way, and instead of keeping them, I'd rather that they stayed with their dad and someone else raised them, because I didn't want them to have that type of lifestyle. But later, as the years progressed, I was lacking something besides the Lord. I know I needed Jesus in my heart, and but I missed my family. And so what brought me here today is I was on drugs, I was just drinking, and my friend was with me, and I just didn't care to live. And I got on my knees, and I said, Lord, if you can bring me back, give me back to my family and put my husband back in my life, I will serve you. I will serve you nonstop. And May 10th, 2015 is when I came to Texas, and ever since then I've just been on fire for the Lord, and he's been restoring my family, restoring my relationships with my son Ryan, especially because we separated. He was 1.5 years old, and when I came back it was a little bumpy, but now, like, my relationship with my husband, it's not perfect, but the love is there, and with my children and with Ryan, it's awesome, and I'm so blessed. And one of the steps at Celebrate Recovery is to make amends in our relationships with everyone. So recently, I was able to see my oldest son, who lives in Oregon, and I haven't seen him for a few years, but the last 2 times I visited, I was coming down, I was coming off of drugs, so it wasn't really good. I just mostly slept, and I didn't really pursue that relationship with my son or my daughter-in-law or my grandchildren. But recently I went to Oregon, and I prayed about it, and God just told me, you don't need to say anything now, you just let me work through you. So I was able to he was able to see me work with my grandkids, and my grandkids were actually, grandma were on me, loving on me, and my son's seen that. He's seen the change in me, the calmness, the love that Jesus has given me, and that Jesus is alive in me because he is alive. And it was just awesome. It was awesome and peaceful, and my son's seen that big change. So that's what God did in my life so far, just in restoring my relationships.